Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a special September 2021 energy report with Patricia Monna. Everybody knows Patricia here on my channel. I'm also going to be giving Patricia's YouTube channel as well in the description box. Let me see. So we're here to talk about the September month. I think Patricia, really hit the nail for August. I didn't want to see those predictions coming through, but everything we said really was on point. So let's look at what's going on in September. So I'm just going to be, Patricia doesn't know about my notes that I picked up. I did a heavy meditation and I really thought about September month. So what I gathered is September is going to be a little bit much better than August. So I feel like we're going to start feeling that energy shifting. And like I said, it's still going to be a little, you will still feel it, but it's not going to be so intense. I just feel like it's going to be like a wave kind of energy that I'm seeing. It's going to go up. It's kind of like our highs and lows. Like we'll have our good days and bad days. Or good. It's like going back and forth, like a wave, going up and down. And that's how I'm seeing the energy for September. I do feel that, a lot of people are disconnecting. When I looked at the energies, I saw a lot of people losing faith and hope, So again, this is really important for everyone to understand. This is really about saying what I saw is really embrace the unknown. Okay, this is about leaving behind fear, anxiety, and worry. This is about, what I gather was we need to have really new experiences, growth and development and adventure, like stepping into the unknown, because we're not everything is going to be scary. We still don't know what's going to happen. These energies doesn't have to manifest, but I'm just seeing that if we lose faith and hope in the universe, in the good, and then, yes, I do feel like we're going to still be stuck in that yucky negative energy. But this is really telling me in the month of September when I was looking, leave out fear, leave out worry and anxiety and stress, really just have faith in the universe, go within and step into the unknown, regardless if it's going to be positive or negative. You just have to still keep your faith in creator and source, and also be around nature, which is going to be very healing. But you're still carrying that fear. I feel that the new earth is moving into a new beginning. So we are moving into a new beginning. You're going to feel that shift, but this is, again, we have to have faith in the future. There's a lot of inexperiences that we're dealing with and not knowing what to expect. But this is saying believe in the universe, that I see. Have a leap of faith. This is all about, we're learning right now to be independent. So we have to, I think that a lot of, the world we're seeing, it's like people are going to realize we cannot rely on institutions and government. This is saying we have to be more independent. We have to take risk. We have to commit ourselves and follow our hearts and have an open mind. That is the way I'm going to see us in the future. Okay. But I do feel that, people are separating. I saw people are still separating. There's divisions and there's also failures. Okay. I see some plans are failing. I told Patricia offline, what we're seeing right now, think about it, we're in a game. We're in this video game, we're in this simulation, and everything we see all around us is not real. It's basically distractions. We're being distracted from one angle to another angle for a reason. There's a purpose. It's a strategy. They want us to prevent resisting. Okay, so think about it. You're in this machine, you're being controlled, and everything you're seeing is not, what is reality, what is not. So you have to really go within. Okay, and not lose your intuition. Your intuition is what's going to be saving you. Okay, but you've got to follow your heart. Open that mind. Use that right thinking. Stay away from that left logical thinking. But I do feel like keep an eye on the Navy. I see something to do with the Navy ships coming in. I feel like there's going to be some kind of issues with ships, that brings in supplies. So we're going to have some issues with exports, imports. This could be dealing with the food, but this is also saying, make sure that you stock up, start stocking up now before it's too late. But I feel like there's going to be some stuck issue, like maybe ships, exports, imports, transportation being stuck, not able to deliver supplies. And we're going to start seeing that in the month of September. And as well, there's going to be shortages of crew people, employees not able to provide services. I do feel that, we're still in, we're coming towards the end of that Pisces energy, and I do feel that this is saying, really, guys, you've got to connect with your intuition. This is all about, your imaginary world. That I'm seeing, stick to the arts, your creative arts, your passion, but, Pisces energy it is heavy energy. It is imprisonment, feeling trapped, insecurities, mind control, as well as self-doubt, abuse, as well as losses, emotional loss or financial loss. But this is also the house of illusions, deception, and enemies. Okay. I also feel that it's going to be also important about our relationships in the month of September. I feel like it's really important to take care of your health and well-being. Guys, you have to. Okay. You got to shut off everything around you. Go in nature, because nature is what's going to really keep you in sync. Really control your emotions. So it's best, I see a lot of people got to start looking after their health and well-being, and you have to question everything. You need to question everything. And this is about also improving yourself. Okay, so taking care of yourself, ask those questions and improving yourself, your spiritual side, your subconscious side, don't be stuck in that 3D. I also see that in the month of September, there's going to be a lot of deceptions and betrayals, people getting away. I see a lot of bad, whoever's manipulating or deceiving, lies. I feel there's a lot of enemies trying to get away with something. Okay, so I do feel like there is some people trying to act strategically, but there's a lot of trickery in the world. We're really being deceived and tricked, and people are escaping, from a situation. So people are, again, you're bringing in that fear and worry and anxiety. People are escaping from a situation, running away, don't want to commit, running away from responsibilities, running away from being hardworking, and as well as love, run away from love. I do feel that we need to keep an eye on children. There's something going to be going on with children, with teachers or schools. And I do feel that, there's something changing in the schools, and as well as children not going to schools. But I do feel that children's immune system are getting weaker, that I saw. It has to do with, what they're wearing. And that is not good. So I feel like there's going to be some concerns about the children, especially their immune system are going to get weaker, and we have to look after them. I do feel there could be some diseases coming in, especially with children. I do feel there's going to be some repeating chicken pox or measles that will get out of hand, that I saw, and as well as, their skin. There's something definitely going on with, the health issues of children, their immune system, their skin, some diseases that are going to be out of control. Like I would say the chicken pox and the measles, which is really weird. I do feel that there is something going on in Jupiter. I picked something up with something going on with Jupiter. There are some things happening in the planet Jupiter that we are not knowing. And it does make sense why Elon Musk and they are going out into space with Jeff Bezos. Something is happening in Jupiter, and there's a lot of deception, betrayal, getting away, acting strategically. I see something that something is in the plan that has to do with mind control, like some kind of neural link. I don't know. I'm always seeing the word neural link or chip. Something to do with mind controlling, something to do with Jupiter, something that they're trying to strategically trick people. It has a lot to do with brainwashing and mind controlling. And it's really funny. I was picking that up, but Jupiter, another thing I did see, we do see another thing, something from above, from the universe is coming down to help us. Okay. We're not alone. I feel there's a higher entity, higher extraterrestrial beings coming down, expanding, and they're going to be our guide of what's coming and, in the upcoming months, but they are here and they're what's guiding us. Okay. So we need to have confidence, but also look out for other things I just mentioned, but it's really about generosity, expansion, and wealth. But Jupiter is a sign of gods and goddesses, things like that. So there is something happening in a galactic sense, I also see that there's a lot of magic being done, like, some kind of creation, manipulation, and magic being drawn into the public, that I see. But I do feel there is a powerful individual that's very skilled, very determined. But that person is using a lot of trickery. We're being, like I said, there's something that we're not seeing, and we need to be asking the questions. I really feel there's going to be some kind of conscious influence. It's really about our willpower, logic, intellect, this also, as well as concentration, psychic powers. But I did see some kind of unification of the physical and spiritual world coming together, colliding. But this is really about the drive of humanity. I also saw that there is going to be a lot of Mars energy. So again, we might still see the fires. There could be some war, conflicts, civil unrest, that's going on around the country that we're still seeing. So things can escalate. There will be heated conversation, heated arguments going on. But this is having ambition and courage, that I see, obedience and independence and passion, having that realization. This is saying we really need to take action. And we, like I said, due to having a realization. So people will have a realization and things can cause conflicts, arguments, and I see heated conversation among people and groups, but I do feel that, there is something happening in the sports industry. So keep an eye in the sports industry. I do feel like there is some kind of conflict that's going to lead to some kind of conflict or violence. I do see a lot of military action. I do see there's going to be a lot of stunts, psyop stunts happening, false flags, around the world. And there's going to be a lot of physical activities. And sorry, guys, I'm almost done. It's a lot, but this is about having mental clarity. It's really about the intellectual power of us. And this is about having authority, having truth. Don't give your authority away. This is all about seeking truth to gain that mental clarity. I do feel there's going to be an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, masculine energy, that is going to there will be some kind of announcement. We're going to hear about an important political figure that could be an air sign, but we're getting some kind of truth, some kind of mental clarity. We can actually get some disclosures on the children as well. Something about the children that is going on. We can start seeing, if it doesn't happen in September, do expect in the upcoming months regarding children disclosures, things like that, that I'm seeing. I also see that we really have to use, as well as our logic and our intellect. And this is about us navigating through the path ahead. And I do feel there is a professional advisor, but I do feel that there's some kind of high standards, some reason, discipline, integrity. It's really about being serious. And I feel like there is someone who has a very high IQ and who's going to be a very influential mentor that will be helping, the world, humanity. But someone is being very manipulative. So we got to ask those important questions so that I see. I do feel like it's going to be about us making adjustment and, kind of learning through our experiences. Okay. So we do got to adjust, but we're going to have to learn through these experiences moving ahead. I do feel there's major change, movements, relocation, transformation. Be careful with your legs. I feel there's going to be some concerns about the legs as well. And I still see the fishes as well as an issue. Something about the beaches that's going on. What? Hold on, I'm so sorry. Mom, I'm busy. Mom, I'm on a call. No, I'm busy. I'm on a call. Sorry.
No worries.
My mom, okay, so ignore that part. So basically, I feel like a lot of people are going to be defensive and stubborn, and a lot of people are going to be more practical, and they're going to be losing that intuition and confidence. It is really about being loyal. Who is being loyal to the people, and that's when we have to use our intuition. We really got to seek within to find that truth and mental clarity. But it's about finishing what we started. It is about the environment consciousness. So that I do see it's about taking responsibility, defending and protecting your home. And I see a lot of people are becoming conservative, and I do feel that there's a lot of stuff happening with the earth itself, like the weather, earthquakes, or volcanic eruptions. So I do feel like there could be some volcanic eruptions in the US. I believe this could be in the US towards the west coast, mid coast. I don't know if this has something to do with Yellowstone. I was picking up something to do with Yellowstone. They could get some volcanic eruptions because I saw, hot springs, around that area and a mountain area. I never been to Yellowstone, so I don't know if that's what I'm picking up. But really it's about us finding our security, stability. It's going to be very important. And this is about connecting to our essential pleasures. We're going to be also seeing something about the housing market. The land and properties are coming up. And this is really about relationships, contracts, civil unions, people like repeating pattern behaviors, repeating history. I feel like people are going in circles and circles due to the confusion, the manipulation and deception. I do feel that we could see something to do with the minds, like especially with minds. So keep an outlook to that. And this is really about our commitments and agreements as well. So there are some kind of commitments and agreements going on behind the scenes, but I do feel like a lot of repeating events happening, completion of a cycle. There will be some business deals, proposals. I do feel the main concern I have is unresolved health issues. The immune system will be coming up. And for the future, I do feel for the future, I do see triumph, victory, success. But when that does happen, it's really about humanity coming together and not losing their intuition, not losing in touch with reality, but in the future, I do feel like there is triumph, there is success and victory. When can that happen? I don't know. But right now, we're dealing with a lot. And I do feel that we are really worried about, our security, stability, money. So money could be coming up as a problem, also the market, housing markets, land, assets, and as well as the immune system. But we do have a lot of unresolved health issues coming up. And that's mostly what I have.
Okay, well, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And thank you so much for having me again on your channel.
Oh, no worries. I know that was really long. I'm sorry.
I know. There's so much of it in there that I picked up on that mirrors exactly like what you were saying. One of the biggest messages that I kept hearing over and over is we need to get our houses in order. And what I mean by that is where is there discordant energy? Is it between relationships with your loved ones? Is it relationships with your jobs? What is causing anger or anxiety in your life right now? That needs to shift. It's needed to shift for a long time, but now more so than ever, because we need our relationships. Our family are the ones that are going to be there for us should anything ever happen to us, right? So we have to clean up the relationships that aren't doing so well. So forgiveness will play a big role in that. Forgiveness and letting go of things that we can't change so that we can move together forward in a peaceful way where there doesn't need to be arguing amongst us. And I say that because right now, anxiety is running high, tempers are running high. My God, you even go out in public and you can just see it on people's faces and in their auric fields that it's information overload. It's, so many things coming at us all at once. Like up here in Canada, we're dealing, with the pandemic, as you know, and now the passports that they want to be bringing in. So that's causing a lot of tension, fear and tension with putting restrictions on our right for free movement. Yeah. And so one of the big pressures up here in Canada is we have an election coming up on September 26th. And I encourage all Canadians to vote. This election is very important that you voice your concerns. If you are not happy with the way the government currently is structured, it's time to restructure it. And I mean that. And hopefully our vote matters this time. It scares me in a way, I'm going to be honest, it scares me in a way because we're using the same Dominion voting systems as what you guys used with your past election, and that didn't go over very well. So I don't know one Canadian right now that thinks that Justin Trudeau is doing a good job. He has put us so far down the toilet that it's actually quite embarrassing to have him as a leader. And so the reason why he called this election 2 years early, because he didn't need to call an election right now. But it's greed, it's ego, it's him thinking that a minority government won't push through his New World Order plans. Yeah. So he's come back to get a majority government so that he can dictate what happens in this country without it being questioned. It will just be all of his lovely ideas will just be passed through and made law. And that's completely, it's been unacceptable what he's done to this country for the whole time that he's been here. It's been one scandal after the next. Yeah. And so as Canadians, we really need to rise and let our politicians know what needs to change and what policies should not even be open for discussion in a democratic society, like where they are trying to restrict our movement interprovincially so that we can't even travel to other provinces. That's mind-blowing that we're even going there. So I really, 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 we need all Canadians to get out there and vote and make sure that this guy isn't getting the keys to a country that he's already destroyed. Like our deficit alone has over doubled since he's been here. So it's, I don't know, he's not leaving a legacy. I'll tell you that. And he's got to go. So please vote, you guys. It's very, very, very important that Canadians vote this time. So that's September 26th. So I know that a lot of emotions will be running high up here in Canada. And in that time, we're still dealing with the breaks in the supply chain. I know that my husband works for a big electrical company here in Calgary, and they're having a heck of a time trying to get their supplies in, and anything to do with resin or bathtubs. They're having a heck of a time trying to get the supplies in. And last year, or this year and last year, it was wood that the lumber that we saw completely skyrocket in price. So of course, this is going to be a trickle down effect, and we are going to really, I think, feel it this fall and this winter. Yeah. The breaks in the supply chain, it's really going to get.
Yeah, I think, no, you're right. I believe,
that's
spreading
exactly what.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's part of the plan. Yes. If you read Klaus Schwab's book, The Great Reset, you'll understand what stage of his stupid narrative he's convinced world leaders to be on. Like, it's actually scary what's going on out there right now, and the fact that people aren't questioning the narrative. Yeah. But anyways, so I expect there to be problems big time with certain foods. I'm already seeing it up here in Canada in Starbucks. There's no caramel for my caramel frappuccino. There's no caramel. And I hate to sound like a princess saying that, but that's just one thing, you guys. What if it's medication? Yeah. What if it's stuff that is, life sustaining? Screw the caramel. If we're not getting, medication, if we're not getting the stuff that keeps our economy and food in our belly, we're in trouble. So we got to, be careful what we're tolerating. Yeah. Because
I noticed when I went to the market, I was trying to buy beef. It was $20 for these small little beef packet. And I was like, oh my God, there were only like about, I would say like no more than like $10, and they were now $20. And I was like, okay, put it back. I don't need it.
You know what I do? So it's interesting that you say that, because beef is getting very, very expensive up here as well. Mm-hmm. This is where we have to shop local. So what I do, I actually have a local what does she call it? Cattle rancher. And she's a Reiki master. And so she literally prays and does Reiki over her cows. And they come, I've been to her farm. They come when she whistles. And it's amazing. So what she does, because I'm in Alberta, I'm an Alberta beef girl. And, but what she does is, like I said, she Reikis it. And then about a week or two before the cow goes to slaughter, she sends me a picture of the cow so I can say a prayer, thank it for sustaining and feeding my family, giving its life to feed my family. It's my little way of not just blessing it to my body, but thanking it for its life. Yeah. And so I do that. It is. I honestly think that every cattle rancher should do that, because the beef just melts in your mouth. It's amazing.
We do that too. We do a special prayer before we kill the animal. We do that too.
That's beautiful. That is. And I think that all cattle ranchers should do that. It sets the intention and it makes it taste better. Blessed beef is just, it's awesome. It should be a thing. I really think that if someone came up with a company called Blessed Beef, I'm positive that there would be tons of lineups. If someone
vegans don't come after us. I know the vegans are going to be like, what in the world but come on, guys. I was vegan for 2 years back in the days. My body just couldn't handle it. I love vegan. So
yes. And I grew up here in Alberta. We're known for our steaks. So my husband cooks a mean steak. I don't think I could become vegetarian, but I'll thank it for its life and say a prayer over it. Absolutely. For sure. Bless it to my body. Yeah. What else did I pick up? Oh, Haiti keeps coming up for me. Haiti. I really think that poor country is going to be hammered and they need our prayers. I don't think that the poor weather is done there. And so I do feel like there is going to be more natural destruction that happens this year. The energy is too high for Mother Nature not to react to it. It really is. If you look at the Schumann resonance, for example, for anyone who doesn't know what the Schumann resonance is, it sits at 7.83 hertz. So that means 7.83 cycles per second. And that's the natural heartbeat of Mother Nature. Well, when we see the Schumann resonance spike, and what causes it to spike is geomagnetic stress, storms, lightning. It's all the electricity that's in the air. And the Schumann resonance will spike when there is, storms and things going on in the atmosphere. But it will also spike when there's a shift in the collective consciousness as well. And right now we can't help but shift. When we're faced with a scary and uncertain paradigm and what we're going through with the future, the way it looks right now, it's going to cause us to reach within. It's going to cause us to go and look at ourselves on a much deeper level, start to examine, everything that we've done before in the past, where we're going, moving towards the future on a personal level and on a collective level. And I think that's adversity causes that, death causes that, big life blowups cause that. And it's needed sometimes. Because if we were, sipping margaritas on a cruise ship right now and everything's great every day, we're, knocking on wood, praying things don't change. But what if we do need that big shift? What if humanity does need that big conscious wake up? Those wake ups are never pretty. They're usually the snotty balling on the floor, sitting in that space of fear, letting go of everything you thought you knew, and that's what I think we're doing on a personal level as well as a collective level. And I want to say, I have noticed this year that there's a huge war on consciousness, like you wouldn't believe. And our consciousness is our temple. What we think about, we become, right? Our thoughts become our actions become our reality. That's how we manifest. This cup was a thought, this phone was a thought, and someone actually put it into action and created it, right? So what are we creating with where our mind is at right now. Well, one of the things that I've noticed is men's consciousness seems to be even heavier than a woman's consciousness. Women have, how do I explain this? We are community. We are nurturers by nature. Do you understand what I mean? Our heart is usually our greatest, most open chakra. That's the feminine divine energy. It has a softness to it, right? Men stand in their power. It's this. It's that energy. So it's harder for them to put the shield down when healing needs to take place. I find it's easier as a woman to find healing, right? But men, where do they go? Who do they talk to? They don't. Men tend to keep everything suppressed, and it'll come out as anger or anxiety. You know what I mean? But there has been a shift, I got to say, in these last couple months where I've noticed that guys are starting to they're waking up. They're starting to ask questions. I had a meditation here last night where over half of the room was guys. And it was like, thank you. This is what we need. We need to wake up humanity, regardless of sex, culture, race, any of that. Because where we landed, this body that this Patricia soul landed in, that was just fluke. It really was, right? But it's the soul that puts this body into action. And we need, if we have a heavy soul, what are our actions going to look like, right? It's just going to be passing on more pain, and then it never stops. So we need to take responsibility for the energy and actions that we're bringing to the table every single day. And so I have noticed a bit of a wake-up call with men asking more questions and reaching out and looking for that softer place to land, because it is getting very heavy out there. It really is. And, a lot of men have the burden of, or, they have the money on top of them, and then the kids and the wives, and it's just one thing after the other. I know for my husband, working in construction and residential and stuff, it's a lot of stress on him, a lot, because he's a senior project manager. So he's got, I think him and his partner have 80 guys underneath them that if they're not busy, they're not feeding their families, right? So it's tough. It's tough all the way from management, all the way to the last person. It has not been good supportive energy out there, but at least they're now seeking it. They're realizing that there is an issue. So I have seen a shift even with men starting to look within,
I've seen it too,
and reaching out. So it's good. Yeah. Really good.
That's it was my father. I was saying past few days, my father started to wake up and realize about, the Biden administration. Like, he realized that something is definitely not going right. And he even said, why is mass media lying about what's really going on in Afghanistan? And he couldn't understand it. And he's like, wait a minute, something, he was asking the right questions. And I was like, yes, I don't feel alone. But
and people need to hear that, because even up here, we're getting fed one narrative. So what is your family saying back home?
What's happening is, I did a video on the Afghanistan situation. I saw, the Taliban, all they're saying is we don't want people to run away, and we want you guys to help fix the country. And they said that they didn't, whatever the news media are saying it's the opposite. And they're saying that we're giving women rights. We want to go back to the original Islamic law. We're so going to give women rights to go to school, go to work, and he's like, well, the Shura law has always been around. What's new? But their Shura law is not what, we're not going back to the old, but this is some kind of new wave, new generation, and so they were defending their name. They're saying that, they're upset with the US because, they call them, they're calling them, terrorists, but they're not looking about how this all started by, the US created Al-Qaeda, by this, 3-letter words, the C blank A,
Yeah.
So, and then they cut him off so fast when he was talking about US and the word for terror, US terrorism, and they just cut that out. They just cut him off. And this is like I mean, everybody was so stunned because he was so educated and he wasn't from, you could tell he was born in Australia or New Zealand or London.
Wow.
It was a shock to them because they were like thinking, oh, this person it's inhumane. And he's like, look, we're giving women rights. We want people to stay. We want help. We want you guys to help rebuild the country. And a lot of people are leaving not because of politics, because of economic reason. They think that America's life is much better, so they're taking advantage of it. And the Biden's administration is telling the Afghan people, send us your most educated people here. So they're taking the most educated people so people can't rebuild in that country.
Brutal. That's brutal.
And it's so sad. They're taking the people who are very educated and telling them, oh, you're safer here in the US. Don't stay in your country, so they won't able to help rebuild. And then, it's so now it's like, it's against mass media, against what it's chaos. It's a lot of fear mongering and, people don't know what to do. So they're scared because they're listening to the mass media. They're believing what the US news is telling them. Like, your life is in danger. Come here. We'll protect you.
That creates timelines.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary part of that, is that when you're putting out lies and falsehoods, that creates timelines based on those lies, right? And that's, oh my goodness, that's absolutely terrible. So I hope that people are turning their TVs off, turning the radios off, and listen to some nice, soothing, relaxing music instead of the crap that's being pumped out into the airways.
Yeah,
right?
It's so much fear mongering, and I feel so bad for the innocent people. They've been through hell. And the worst part is our president that left stole the money from the bank, took millions. I think he took about almost $1 billion or millions of dollars from the people's money out of the bank and ran off to UAE. So literally, they're not even talking about that in the US. He stole the people's money from the banks and left. And also his family members left too. So they dipped out, stole the money from the people, and the news is not talking about that. They're talking about it in Afghanistan, but not in the US of what's going on, what happened with the people's money was stolen by their own president.
That's so crazy and slimy.
Yeah.
My God.
And I cried. I literally cried for them. They didn't deserve that. They've been through so much for so many years, and all they want is just peace. They want to have a better life, and they never got a better life because they were never educated. So that's why it's really hard for the Afghan people to see, because again, the literacy in that country is so low. I mean, it's so high. Sorry, it's so high, and it's up to the new generation. It's really up to the new generations to really fix it. But they're all telling them to leave there. You'll be protected in the US. Come here. So.
Wow, that's brutal. Yeah, there's definitely other wars that are happening that are outside of our knowing, because me sitting up here in Canada, it's like they're not telling us anything. Like it's literally someone like you or my international clients that are telling me what's happening in Australia and Panama and South Africa. Like, there is some scary stuff happening all over the world right now. And the number one thing that we can do is pray, honestly, because I truly believe that we have the power within us to change this timeline. But we need people to wake up and realize that this is not a narrative that we can tolerate anymore. That it can repeat itself. 50 years later, we're going through the exact same thing. No way. So yeah, it's time that we do need to speak up and have some change.
Well, the thing that's scary, I felt so when I was remote viewing for September, it's like a lot of people were losing hope and faith and confidence because of the fear and worry, and they don't know what to expect. They don't know who to listen. And they're trying so hard to find some kind of mental clarity. And I just felt like there's just so many being thrown, at humanity, like what is real, what is fake, what are the distractions, and it's all mind manipulation. They're really mind manipulating the people to make them really go insane, go mentally ill, you know.
I
So
wanted,
the number one enemy is fear itself. And
yeah.
like I said, you got to shut everything out and have a break from everything, even YouTube, even in everything, like from electronics. Go outside, just sit outside in nature. You know, that's the best remedy I've been telling people.
Totally. Yeah, no, and I wanted to mention empathic burnout this month. Make sure self-care, self-care, self-care. If you got to set an alarm each day for self-care, put it in your calendar and make yourself a priority, because empathic burnout is going to be an all-time high through September and October. So you're going to start to see yourself craving the warm, cozy sweaters because you're actually wanting to go within. You're going to start to crave going within and the pumpkin spice lattes and all that, because it's an energy, right? It's a comfort. It's an energy. So there's going to be a lot of cocooning energy over these next couple of months. And if you find yourself naturally doing that and pushing people away, even though you've been at home for 18 months and now all of a sudden, we're allowed our freedom, but you still don't feel like it. You feel like, no, I'm kind of enjoying my space. Take a deep breath. That's normal. And it's to be expected over these next couple of months. It's Spirit's way of calling us to come home, to go within, to feel that divine spark within us and get that light in a state of acceleration for what's to come, because the energy on this planet is shifting. And there's a lot more people that are waking up, not just to the politics and the game that's in front of us and the simulation of the matrix, but to their own spiritual connection, because we all have it, every single one of us. And just like every single one of us is psychic, we've all had that little hunch that something was going to happen, and then it happened, right? So going within is the greatest way to be able to access that realm of information. So you guys, meditation, prayer, getting out in nature and grounding. I can't say that enough because it's what saved my sanity. So turn the phones off, turn all of the social media off, and go sit and think and have a conversation with your guardian angels, and you'll feel their presence the minute you turn your attention that way. They're always there. It's like a 24-hour radio station that we are all privy to, but who's turning it on and tuning into it? That's the big question. You're going to feel pulled to do that this fall.
Yeah, I think it's just best because everybody's trying to gain that mental clarity and truth. And the best thing is you just have to listen to your higher self, your own intuition, go within. Don't really, like you said, even me, what I say or other YouTubers or create, no one's right, no one's wrong. The only person that you can never go wrong with your own intuition. You can never go wrong. So it's just a matter of fact, you doing the inner work, you sitting down, having a self check-in, and just tuning in, standing still, and just listen to every angle of because if you ask these questions, you'll get it from higher source, But a lot of things been really coming through the AI technology of mind manipulation, the brainwashing. So everybody's like, well, who's telling the truth? What is real? What is the truth? Everybody's just so confused and distorted. I think that's what I was seeing so much. Their energy was being so disrupted because of that.
So I can explain how to get rid of that. Yes, I agree with you that there's a lot of mind control and AI that's happening right now. And that is where we need to disconnect and be able to go within and completely immerse ourselves in our own spiritual connection. So truth hits differently than a lie does. Truth is a statement. It has solid energy to it. A lie is wispy. It leads to questions. It's, yeah, but what if? Yeah, but what if? A statement of truth is solid. So feel it. Feel your truth. If your question leads to more questions, no, there's not enough truth behind it to call it true. So that's not the way you want to be following. But you can literally feel it within your body when you're standing in your truth and when you're receiving truth, your body absorbs it differently. So feel it. If something feels off, it is off. It is. And I know that the empaths out there are going to really feel, it's going to become very easily evident on what path we should be walking on and which one needs to go. We were aware of it before, but now it's screaming. It's like the shifts that need to take place, and they're different in each and every person's life, right? It could be our actions or lack of forgiveness, or, not being able to let go of things. Now is the time. Now it's almost like the panic button of it. It needs to be addressed, because when we forgive, when we let go, our energy shifts, right? It just does. Haven't you ever met someone who walks into a room and they don't know what happened here? Sorry, just give me 1 second. But they just completely light up a room, right? Well, the way a person does is by living their truth, by speaking their truth, by breathing in truth and living that to their best ability every single day, being as authentic as you humanly can. I can't stress that enough. Stand in your truth, speak your truth. I don't know what happened. My email all of a sudden popped up and you.
No, you're good. I don't see anything. You're perfect.
As long as I didn't lose the connection, that's all that matters.
Patricia, can you give us any advice? How can we know what is the truth and what isn't? Because like I said, with me, I want to be in touch with reality, and I want to be prepared of what we talked about off camera. How can our viewers know, like, what is the truth, or what should we follow, or how Earth is going to shift in the future? Because I know there's a lot of anxiety and fear. And like I said, we all are, we don't know what is going to happen in the future, but we can change timelines.
Yes.
So my issue is a lot of viewers don't know what to do or what to expect. They just can't wait that long. They're like, Mariam, we can't wait till 2023. We can't wait till 2025. I can't, but I just told them, it's okay to be scared. We all have them. I mean, if people say you shouldn't be scared or be hard, or it's hard, no, you have a right to be scared. You have a right, because it's feelings and emotions, we're human.
Absolutely.
We're all dealing with it together. So I just don't know what I can, because I feel helpless sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I look at myself, I'm in a house, I'm under a roof, and other places they're locked down, and I can walk in the streets. I don't have my mask on. I can go to the gym. I can go get coffee. But deep inside, I feel so horrible for other countries of what they have to go through.
Absolutely.
And it's hard.
It is. So we have to pray for our brothers and sisters, because we are all one family and we are all connected. And here's the cool thing. So I'm gonna be honest, I haven't worn a mask the whole time, and they actually make me panic. If I even think of putting it on, I break out in a sweat. And one thing that I noticed by me standing in my truth, taking a big deep breath and going shopping with it off, I had, over the past year, I had numerous people come up to me, take their mask off and say, thank you. I just needed someone else to go first, right? There's a solidarity when we stand together for what we believe in, right? And so if you don't know what truth looks like or feels like, you need to take a step back and find it. You do, because it looks differently and feels differently for each and every one of us. But truth has a higher vibrational frequency. It is solid. Like I said, it hits differently in the body. It really, really does. It's like a lie will almost cause a panicky feeling in the chest. Truth, you can feel it. It's like a strength in the stomach that plugs you in, and you have stronger energy because of it. So you have to stop and think. If you want to break it down, what depletes your energy and what adds, what gives you that strength when you're around it or with that person, right? Then you're going to start to see where you're resonating with truth in your own life. Feel it. And if you don't know how to do that, don't know how to feel your own truth, you got to meditate, sit down and pray. Literally take some time out, Go to your church, even if it's in the forest. That's my church. I go camping on weekends, and I spend a lot of time meditating in the forest because nature has the greatest answer. Spirit's all around you. It's just taking the time to get out of this 3D so that you can flip over, open that connection to the 5D, and then the rest is history. It just pours in. It does. Peace pours in when you command it to. Ask and ye shall receive. It's so unbelievably true. So yeah, it's getting back to peace within yourself. And that has to be a day by day, minute by minute, because if you start thinking about 2023, 2025, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to get all panicky and full of anxiety. So here's the trick. Each day, as it passes, we get through it, right? Our worst days that we go, oh my God, how did I ever get through it? But you did. And we can get through this. We're going to. Let's do it with faith. Let's do it with an assurity that we know a greater power has our back. We know we are not alone. Ask and ye shall receive. I mean that. I hate to sound so rhetorical, but there really is angels. There really is a God. And I don't care what you call it. You can call it God, Buddha, Allah, ultimate energy. I don't care what you call it. There is a stream of consciousness that is available to every single one of us. Who decides to turn on that particular station? Hey, that's where free will comes into play. But I'm telling you, I didn't find 30 missing people because it was fluke, right? I got my information from somewhere. There's a greater source that works through me every single day. And it's available to every single one of us. So find your peace. Find your peace, you guys. And everything else will fall into place because it's an energy. The minute you radiate peace, people, especially nowadays, your peace stands out. Your peace stands out. It does. A happy smile, people are like, oh God, they're shocked when you even make eye contact nowadays, let alone a big, huge smile. I'm telling you, it goes a long way. So project your happy, project your peace, and what you are sending out will come back every single time.
No, that's beautiful. No, I agree. Because when I'm at my happiest, when I don't have any fear, I'm always at my peace. I go outside, I run. I'm always doing something like physical. So when I do something that makes me so happy in my passion, I totally forget what's going on in the world. I distract myself because everybody's like, why are you so calm and happy? Honestly, I'm still happy. Whatever that's going on in the world, I can, like I said, I'm still happy. Yeah, because I have love around me. I have my family, I'm outside, I'm exercising, I feel so healthy and I'm blessed, but that just changed my energy because I don't think about, oh my God, this is happening, that is happening, the mandate. I totally forget about it because my mind is in a much higher, I'm kind of like in a higher frequency because where I'm at, I'm in la la land, like in my la la land.
Yes, that's me too. And I love it.
And I don't see anything, it's like I'm in a whole new different world because I'm at peace and I'm not thinking of the negative. I'm not thinking about the fact, the jabs or the what's going on politics and my own little mind and world. What I'm seeing is just happiness, serenity, calmness, peacefulness. Because I'm going within, I'm shutting out the world.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when
when you do that, I feel so much happier, and calm. And sometimes my dad's like, "Do you know what's going on in the world?" I was like, "No," because I'm not paying attention. Because I'm distracting myself with better, healthy options. I'm still doing my passions. I'm still going to the gym. I'm still doing my errands. Because fear is not bothering me.
Yeah. Well, and we all know what fear does to the body. So that's why we got to stay out of it right now. And no matter what we are facing, we're never facing it alone. So I want people to remember that.
Yeah. And lastly, I did see like everyone, when I talked about there's going to be something, this has happened before. There's a political, very influential person that we could hear some announcement about, I'm not going to say the name, but we're going to hear some announcement about a really important figure that might shock people. I don't know when it's coming in, but there is going to be something about some information. People can believe it or not, but I think that's also going to make us question as well their motives, or, you know, the type of person, or what side are they on. So I think that's also going to escalate as well, about the people we think are good might not be good, or, you know, there's just going to be a lot of questions and motives about certain individuals that are very, you know, influential, or very like a mentor to us, you know? So we got to be careful of who we look up to. Do not put any man or woman on a pedestal. Always put God. I always say put God. Always God's coming first, and my, you know, above me. Anyone, my family, God, creator comes first.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be careful not to worship or put people on pedestals. That's a big no-no.
100%. Well, and there is a war on consciousness, a huge spiritual war on consciousness, because what people don't realize is that spirit is pure thought form, right? It's a thought form without a body. It's an intelligence without a body. So the number one way this stuff can attack us is by merging with our energy. If our field of energy goes low enough into their realm or their reality, it's very easy for them to hop onto our auric field and mess with us.
Yeah.
And if they're there long enough and they can merge through our light, if we've got a very low or staticky auric field because we're going through something that's lowering our vibrations or is putting us in an angry mood, that kind of a thing, they can actually merge with your consciousness. And that's when it becomes, you're in trouble, because it will sound like you're talking to yourself, telling yourself a horrible narrative all day long that won't shut up, won't shut up, won't shut up. Your thoughts will drive you crazy. If that is happening, that is where we need to call on Archangel Michael. We need to call on Source Creator and ask for that thing to be removed. We need to breathe that light in and literally, spiritually, energetically see it completely off of us and back to source, because these entities are out there. And I've seen them a lot in society lately. And that's how I know that the war on consciousness is getting pretty serious, because I've seen them on a lot more people in crowds and stuff. And so it's just a matter of time when it goes from the auric field into the mind, right? So if you can identify that, you know, how do I explain this? Okay, there's things to look for when you have an attachment, like you'll feel clumsy, off balance, you'll feel very dizzy when you stand up. There's atmospheric shifts even within your house when something is there. It may smell musty, musty or damp. Like there's a whole bunch of different things to look for. And so if you find that you are dipping into those lower, you know, dimensions of consciousness, say a prayer, blast your body, blast your auric field with light, and literally dissolve all darkness. Do it in a meditation. It works. It works. Because you command it in the astral, and it is. There's no lag time like there is here for manifesting. You know, okay, I want to win $1 million. Well, I'm going to have, you know, it may take me years to do that in this reality. But if I want something in the astral, it's instantaneous, right? Ask and ye shall receive. It's instantaneous in the spirit world. So when you ask for that light and that protection from your angels and Source Creator, immediately it comes. So, and it's by your belief system. So the more you believe, the more you'll achieve.
Yeah. Patricia, I did pick up the physical world colliding with the spiritual world. I don't know what that meant, but I just saw two worlds kind of intercepting with one another.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
Why I was saying that. I don't know what that means.
Because that's exactly what's happening right now. it's happening in the astral. There is massive wars that's happening in the astral right now. And that's why we'll say, you'll go to, we'll say to someone's house and the energy feels really thick in there. It's like, oh, it just feels off in this place. Or, I don't know how else to explain it, but you can feel it. It's pockets of energy. And where there are vortexes, some of them, it's an amplification of that energy in that area. So you can feel it more clearly. And so people react to it on an unconscious level without realizing that they just might have walked through a dimensional hell, right? Or a war. So we will feel it more so than see it. And that's why you're seeing the spiritual world and the physical world coming together, because we're interacting like you wouldn't believe. And the way we will perceive it in this 3D world, the way we'll perceive the 5D is through feeling. Feelings are the voice of your soul. Never dismiss them. Your gut feeling is the voice and the connection to your God source. So always never dismiss your gut instincts.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, Patricia, did you see anything going on in Jupiter? I don't know why I picked up Jupiter, but I did question, because I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense why they're going to, I guess they were saying they were traveling to the moon, like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
I don't know. You know what? I don't think they went to the moon. They just went up through orbit and then came back down.
Yeah,
so
I was seeing Jupiter. There's something going on in the planet Jupiter. Like a I don't know, like I don't want to go too woo woo, but it's okay. I just see something happening, like agreements and contracts going on in space.
Okay.
Especially with Jupiter. And I don't know, this has something to do with the galactic, or I don't know. I'm not I'm not an expertise, but I just don't know. I saw a blue planet. I don't know if that's Jupiter, but I saw a blue planet, and I saw, like a rocket going up there, and there's some kind of, I guess, talks, agreements, and I saw some kind of AI technology that is connected with something that's called neural link. That it has something to do with what Elon is doing with the animals. Like he's putting, like the pigs he's doing, or studying animals with some kind of with AI technology. I don't know. It kind of freaked me out why I was seeing that, but it was kind of showing me something to do with outer space, something to do with Elon Musk, go in his crew, whatever they're doing in outer space, they're doing some kind of manipulation, trickery, deception. They're tricking us. They're not going up there just to go up there. They're going up there for a reason.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and I couldn't understand that. I just saw a blue planet. I don't know all my planets, guys.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know what color Jupiter is.
I don't know if that's Tesla's planet.
I didn't really remote view.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I don't know why
I was looking more into this realm, but it's interesting that you mentioned the Neuralink, because I know that they're trying. I know that what they will do in the future is microchip every single person out of the womb. Yeah. And it will then have your SIN number, your records, your healthcare records, your driving records, your bills, your banking, your movements. I really feel that mark of the beast stuff is very scary. It's a very scary reality, because it's complete mind control. That kind of technology can read your emotions, can read your thoughts. So where is the sovereign temple that houses the spirit? Where is this ours anymore? If our body no longer belongs to us, and the thoughts of and feelings of our soul can now be privy to government or who else wants this information, that's not good. And they're going to pass it off as convenience. It'll be convenience. Oh, it's so convenient. Just, wave your microchip under and your instant access. And, they'll even say that they can download medication to your system.
I
And
just
you know
felt
how
so
that is?
creeped
You
out.
know what, Mary? You know how that is? It's because it's rife therapy frequencies. They know that frequencies heal the body. And so through AI, through technology, it's not like they're going to be shoving a pill in your mouth when you need it. No, if they're going to download your medicine, it's obviously frequencies, right?
Mhm.
And Royal Rife ended up dying in jail because the FDA closed him down because they knew that his technology had the potential to cure cancer and so much more. So I know that that technology will be used in the future to heal, but that's a crappy reality that I don't know. And I think that without that, and the reason why I reference it to the mark of the beast is
Yeah.
when you're saying that you can't travel, you can't buy, you can't trade, you can't nothing without this. What do you think that is? That's biblical. That's what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it, but I've been saying it since last year. I have a feeling we woke up in the book of Revelations, and that's what chapter we're on. That's so we
Do you
kind
think
of
you should just read the Bible and I'll give us all
yes,
the answers?
that's how yes, yes. You want a book club, you want a good book to read right now, read the Bible.
Yeah,
And
I'm reading the Bible. That's going to give me all the answers of what's going on. Because I was like, this feels like we're in the
remember,
Revelation,
well,
we're in the
here's the other
Bible.
thing. Remember that it's open to interpretation. So
Yeah.
take from it what resonates with you. That's the point of that book. Take what resonates with you, take what speaks to your soul. But right now, all I know is the way I grew up and what I was taught when I went to church and what my parents taught me. It looks eerily like the end days. And I
Yeah.
hate
Like
saying
they
that,
call the Bible. Yeah. No, what I got, Patricia, I was saying like, read the Bible, mental clarity and truth is coming from the Bible. So if people can decode the Bible, basically you're going to get your answer and truth in the Bible. So that's where we have to, really research and investigate and decode. Because I didn't grow up with the Bible. I grew up with the Quran,
yeah.
So for us. So yeah, so I think the best thing is really people who knows how to decode the Bible. I mean, you're going to get your answers and truth of what's going on. Because what I saw was, I feel like, the 3D and 5 is like what we see in the 3D is like distraction. It's all fake. But what we see in the 5D, it's what we can't really see. You have to have that high frequency to understand. So everything lies in the 5D, the truth and answer, not in the 3D level, but everything that you're seeking is going to be in the 5D, and we can't see that.
And that's vibration. That's vibrational energy.
Yeah.
Right? So when we learn to raise our consciousness in vibration, raise our body in vibration, we will be privy to that stuff. Because I got to tell you, I see so much more now when I'm working on investigations and doing my readings than I did 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's because I've slowly raised my vibration through meditation and doing this stuff all the time. You sit in that energy of angels all around you because I'm constantly calling on them, right? So yeah, it's time to get our houses right, get our houses in order, our spiritual temples, which is the body, and our physical homes, and everyone who's in it. If there's forgiveness that needs to take place, my God, let it go. It's time. It's time.
Okay. Well, Patricia, thank you so much. I think we covered a lot in this video.
Yeah,
thank you so much. I love, and maybe Patricia is going to do Stonehenge next month, I believe, whenever she has time. But everybody wanted to get a reading with you, but fortunately, Patricia is just too famous. She got booked up all the way till next year, guys. So you can still contact Patricia if she has any openings or cancellation. But
they'll show up on my website if there is. I mean, I'm still teaching classes in the meantime, and I built up an online audience as much as I have here in Calgary. So I'm going to continue with my online classes.
Is there anything that you're doing new that you want to let us know, Patricia? And also, guys, you got to subscribe to Patricia. She does great videos as well. So let's show her love and support. Again, Patricia, we love having you here in my channel. So thank you so much for being a blessing, coming into my life. And I adore you. You're such a great mentor, teacher. Her workshops are amazing. They're so much fun. It's not boring. It's not dry. It's a beautiful a beautiful class. If you love, I mean, her meditations is the bomb. And
Thank
I'm
you.
like, I don't want
I
to
was
do the
gonna say,
meditations.
August 30th, I'm having a free Zoom worldwide meditation and prayer circle. So if you need prayers, if you need to be uplifted and your soul is tired, come. We're gonna have literally light warriors all across the world lifting you up. So I hope that you can join me. That will be August 30th at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Okay.
So,
is there anything else, Patricia, you would like to say before we close this session?
I love you, girl. I think you
Aw.
rock, and I think you do an amazing job on your predictions. And you guys, hang in there. It does get better. This is gonna end sometime, right? It is. It can't continue like this. But take a stand. Take a stand. And Canadians, you better go vote. You better go vote. You better go vote. I'm telling you, you better go vote. There. That's all.
Yes, come on, guys. We Canadians, don't let us down.
Need a change.
So much, guys. Best of luck, guys. We got to pray for Australia, Canada, Haiti, all over the world. Just don't forget about them too. Even though you have more privilege, you know, in your state or country, don't forget about your other neighbors, guys. You know, because remember, God says, love your neighbors, even your enemies. You know, don't forget about them. Just say a prayer for their situation to get better too. Okay, we cannot forget those people. Okay, guys. Thank you so
much, hon. Take care.
Have a beautiful week.
You too.
Bye.